Hey everybody, Chad Watts here with Bender Insurance Solutions. I'm your construction risk and insurance specialist. When you think about how you do insurance, right, how much it costs to purchase and how your rates go up every year, even when you've had no claim. And what I like to do is step back a little bit and think about how it all got started. All right. So let's go back a long time ago. I mean, before fire departments, before police. Let's go back there. You move into some land, right? You and your wife, your family, you build a house, right? You put a nice barn on that property. And you have some neighbors kind of move nearby. And they're just close enough that you see them about once a month because you need to trade some eggs for some rope or something like that. All right. Well, one day while making this trade with one of your neighbors, the neighbor says, "Hey, did you hear that Pete's barn burned down?" You're like, "What? That's crazy." He's like, "Yeah, it's going to take him like a year to rebuild this barn and replenish all the supplies he had in it." And you're like, "Man, that's terrible. If that happened to me, I'd be in a world of hurt." He's like, "Yeah, me too. Didn't that happen to Steve a year ago? Hey, I think you're right. Well, what about Brian the year before?" Right? And you realize that about once a year, somebody's barn is burning down. And you look at your neighbor and you say, "Hey, look, there's like 12 of us out here. If this happens every year, what if we started helping each other? Because I would love some help if my barn burned down." So you end up forming a type of insurance where everyone's pitching in to help each other. Okay. But then after about 10 years, you're tired of helping the same three guys rebuild their barn. And you start telling them, "Look, man, maybe you should stop putting fuel in your barn. Or maybe you should put some of your supplies in your house. So when your barn burns down, you don't lose all your supplies." Right? So you start giving them some advice, you start getting frustrated, and you go home and you're like, "Honey, it's time to move, right? We need to find some better neighbors to do insurance with." So you might be thinking, right, this is insurance. You're always paying for someone else's claim. But you don't necessarily get to pick the neighbors you do insurance with, right? When you come to your business, or can you? Okay. There is a way. There are programs where you can pull out of the program you're in, right? You're tired of funding these same bad habits all year, every year. You want to join another group of people who actually learn from their mistakes, who try to do it right. And when they learn from a mistake, they share with the rest of the group so nobody else makes the same mistake. What if you could do insurance like that? Call me. Let's talk about how to make that a reality.